Hey guys, welcome to another video here on the AviationPro channel. In this video I will give you a review of the new released aircraft by iFly Simsoft, the Boeing 747-400. Now this aircraft has been developed for a lot of flight simulators, for Flight Simulator 2004, Flight Simulator X and Prepar3D. I'm going to be reviewing it using FS 2004. So we're first going to start by looking at the exterior of the airplane and taking a look at all the animations that are included. Then we're going to move to the interior to take a look at the beautiful modeled cockpit and also the systems that are included. And afterwards we'll take a look at the sound effects and also the performance of the airplane in Flight Simulator 2004. Now the exterior of the airplane is just very well modeled. There's not a lot to say about it. The animations are very smooth of the control surfaces and the airplane looks very beautiful in general. The aircraft comes with a standard iFly livery for all the three different models, for the Pratt & Whitney, the Rolls-Royce and the General Electric engine models. And the model in general just looks very beautiful both in daytime and at nighttime. As you can see, the lights reflect on the ground as the lights are integrated within the model, and the landing lights and taxi lights look very beautiful too. The only drawback of the landing and taxi lights is that they disappear at around 10 feet. But that's due to the limitations of integrating the landing lights with the model. And of course, as an FS 2004 user, you will have to make some sacrifices, but at least you don't get this ugly triangle landing light anymore. So as I said, the product comes with three different models for the three different engine types, and the aircraft comes with the standard iFly livery, but also included are a British Airways livery and a Virgin Atlantic livery, as you can see here. So regarding the models, there are three different models included for the different engine types. Unfortunately, there is no cargo version available, at least not yet, nor a 747-8. But who knows, the iFly team is known for their updates and service packs, and they might include new types and models later on. But for now, it's only 747-400 passenger version. So the exterior and model of the airplane is very detailed. And as you can see here, the landing gear is very detailed as well, which allows you to do a virtual walk around basically in order to check if the airplane is working properly and if the brakes are working properly on the landing gear as well. So apart from the drawback of the landing and taxi lights disappearing at around 10 feet, another little problem to some people is the Wingflex. There is Wingflex on the airplane, but some people argue that it's not enough. I leave you to decide whether it's enough or not, but at least there's some Wingflex, and yeah, of course I'm not exactly sure how much Wingflex a 747 would have, but I'm sure if it's a real problem, then it will be fixed by the iFly team in later updates. So we'll now move over to the most interesting part of this add-on, and that's the interior. And the interior of the airplane is just amazing. The cockpit is very well detailed with a lot of 3D objects, knobs and switches, things like that. And especially for FS 2004 standards, the iFly team did a very great job on this. So if you're an FS 2004 user like me, someone who doesn't want to have crashes during the flight, or just a person who likes to have a lot of frame rates, this airplane will definitely amaze you. So let's take a look at some details of the cockpit, and in general the control surfaces, the flap handle and the throttles move very smoothly, including the knobs and switches. There are a lot of knobs and switches on the airplane, and most of them have a function and most of them actually move. Only a few of the knobs don't move and a few of the knobs don't have a function, but they do move. But I say 95% of the knobs is clickable, switchable and actually does have a function. And of course the overhead panel looks very beautiful as well. All the knobs and switches are in 3D and they move very smoothly. There are a few other animations included, including this animation, the ability to move the pilot seats to the back, and also these sunscreens are available as well. Kind of reminds you of the old PMDG 747 for FS 2004. And the airplane also contains a wing view. Unfortunately, it's only the part of the wing that you can actually see from the cockpit. So in order to save frame rates, the iFly team has decided to only model this part of the wing and not the entire wing. So in general, the cockpit is very well modeled and contains a lot of beautiful textures that really look very crisp and clean compared to other FS 2004 add-ons. But there's one more thing to look at, and that's the cockpit during the night. The cockpit during the night just looks amazing as well. The lighting is perfect, it's not too bright nor too dark, and as you can see, all the instruments are displayed very well. Let's just have a look at all the different segments of the cockpit. So as you can see, the cockpit looks amazing at night as well. It's something you don't see a lot in FS2004. So the iFly team released this airplane just before Christmas, and I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of fun flying this airplane at night during the Christmas month of December. So when taking a look at the systems of the airplane, it's just very realistic. The airplane has been tested by real-world 747 captains, and it's just like any other professional add-on for Flight Simulator. It has a fully functional FMC, flight management system and computer. The autopilot works fully as well, and all the other systems like the hydraulics, the fuel, everything has been modeled and programmed just like the real 747. Of course, there might be some things that will pop up after a lot of testing by users, but from my experience with the 737NG of the iFly team, they eventually managed to solve problems, and eventually they have a very good product that is very realistic, and also is a great pleasure to fly, both to hand fly and also flying through the systems of the airplane. Now, an interesting thing to mention is that the airplane comes with a terrain radar, just like the 737 from the iFly team, and also a weather radar for the FSX users who use the weather add-on called Active Sky Next. But this is not included in the FS2004 model, unfortunately. That's one of the limits of FS2004. Now, one last thing to mention is for the people who still want to use 2D panels, there are a lot of great 2D panels as well. As you can see here, if you want to fly with this, or if you want to view the 2D panel to easily access a knob or a switch, it's all possible, and it's all very detailed and looks very great as well. So now let's take a look at all the sound effects of the airplane, and in general the sound effects are amazing. The only thing I don't like is the wiper sound. In my opinion, it sounds a little bit too loud, so I personally have removed the sound file and replaced it with a blank audio file, but of course that is personal preference. And if you want, you can always adjust the sound file yourself. And I have to mention that the wipers do actually work in FS2004, which is a beautiful thing. But apart from the windshield sounds, the interior sounds are beautiful, and to demonstrate it, I'm just gonna show you a takeoff run from the runway. I have to mention that I didn't really prepare the aircraft for takeoff here. That's just a normal non-prepared takeoff, and also the sounds from the runway lights you hear is not from the product itself, but it's from the airport enhancement services. But in general, the cockpit sounds and the engine sounds are very realistic and sound very promising.
V1. Rotate.
So apart from the cockpit, the engines and the environment sounds, like the sounds from the wind and the rain, the knobs and switches also make very beautiful sounds. Even the FMC knobs make sounds as well. And of course there's the lovely autopilot disengage warning as well. So as the engine sounds used in this product are from Turbine Sound Studios, which is a renowned company which makes various sound packs for different add-ons. These sounds are just amazing, both from the interior and exterior. Just to take a look at the exterior, or to hear the exterior sounds, let's take a look at this takeoff roll from Sint Maarten. Another thing worth to mention is the fact that it's great to hand fly this airplane. It really feels like controlling a very big airplane, which it is. In order to show you, if you make a full deflection to the left or the right with your yoke, the aircraft doesn't immediately move, so it's really like a very big aircraft that doesn't really respond immediately to your inputs, which I hope is very realistic because it has been tested by real-world 747 pilots. The aircraft comes with a very straightforward configuration manager in which you can select the amount of passengers and the amount of cargo you want to have in your airplane, including fuel. So you can select empty airplane, a random amount of payload, and also a full airplane. The drop-down menu right here kind of suggests that there would be more models coming, which I of course hope very much, but I can't guarantee that. But it kind of suggests that that it will happen, but we'll see. And the great thing about the configuration manager is that you can also select different classes. Of course, airlines use different configurations for their airplane, so you can also adjust the amount of seats in your airplane in this way. Apart from the payload, you can also select the amount of fuel you want, and inside Flight Simulator there are even more things like key assignments, and also the failures that you can adjust are available within Flight Simulator by going to the menu and selecting iFly 747-400. The aircraft also comes with an enormous amount of information. There's a tutorial available and also an aircraft operations manual worth of hundreds of pages, so you will have plenty of time to study the systems of the 747-400 and learn to fly, or at least operate the systems that way. So there's really a lot of documentation that will help you out learning how to use this airplane. So the last topic I want to address is the performance of the airplane. That's of course a question that a lot of people ask when buying a new add-on. How well does it do on the frame rates? Well, of course, this is a very detailed airplane, the most detailed airplane I've ever seen for FS2004. It's like an FSX aircraft inside FS2004, and of course that has some consequences. I noticed that the frame rate was a little bit lower compared to other add-ons I have, compared to add-ons like the Boeing 737 from iFly and also the Level D Boeing 767, but it's still doable. It's just that it's lower than you're used to, and but of course in return you get this beautiful cockpit and all the 3D knobs and switches. And of course they have pushed the limits of FS2004 here once again. I thought that they already did it with the 737, but they've shown that there's a lot more possible in FS2004, and of course this means you will get a frame rate drop a little bit, but of course it really depends on your system. And but I shouldn't worry too much. There's always room for improvement, of course, if people have really trouble, but it's doable, it's flyable. It's a little bit less compared to the 737, less frame rates, but it's absolutely worth your money to buy this airplane and to experience flying the Queen of the Skies. So just to sum this review up, I think this is a great add-on, one of the best add-ons ever seen for FS2004, but also a great add-on for FSX. Of course there will be competitors who will be releasing another 747, but I think this add-on just is very realistic. The systems are very realistic, and the eye for detail, especially within the limits for FS2004, are just amazing. So I do have to mention some drawbacks, and these are that the landing lights, although they look very great and look like FSX landing lights, they do disappear at around 10 feet, and with the landing lights I mean the reflection on the runway disappears at around 10 feet. Also have to mention that there is only a dome light in the VC. Although the lighting looks great, there's only dome light, so there's no floodlight for the panels, unfortunately. And also the wiper sounds were a little bit too loud in my opinion, and of course there might be some other drawbacks that people will find when using this product, but from my experience with the 737 of the iFly team, I know they have a great support for. You can always go there for help, and they will help you out and answer your questions. And of course they will also release updates to fine-tune this aircraft even better. But I'll be honest with you, the pros of this product definitely outweigh the cons of this product, and in general it's just a very good looking airplane, the best good looking airplane for FS 2004 I've ever seen. The systems appear to be very realistic and working properly, and it has been tested by real world 747 pilots, and the hand flying of this airplane is just amazing. It just feels very realistic. So all in all, I can say that this product is definitely worth your money, and if you're a proud FS 2004 user, you will be amazed. And even for an FSX user, this product looks amazing and very promising. So of course it's your choice whether to buy this product or not, but from my opinion, I can definitely recommend you this product. So thanks for watching this review of the iFly Boeing 747-400 here on the Aviation Pro channel. Please leave your comments, give this video a like and share it with your friends. And if you want, subscribe to this channel for more reviews and other videos. And there will be a VATSIM video coming up as well, so please stay tuned for that. I do have to note that these videos have been recorded with fraps, so that means that the frame rate might seem a little bit lower than they actually are. So I'd like to thank you for watching and hope to see you next time on a new video.